ask just some clarifying questions about it?
Absolutely.
Okay, great, thank you very much. First off, can you tell me how many people that are with Public Works that will be affected by the new building? How many people will be actually housed in the new building, potentially?
There's 10 right now,
10?
but with the expansion of the building, we could actually add, if we have a mechanic, bring in a mechanic facility, possibly could add another employee. One of the things I want to stress too is this isn't just for 2024. This is actually should be thinking of 2050.
Absolutely.
And the town is growing. We just build out on Sunlight. We're also building the, I want to say Ocean West or what. So like, there's actually more, took more trash cans out this past week. So like even the sanitation department is growing. We're doing more volume within town. So
Yeah,
we're,
absolutely no issue, and that's exactly, I just needed a baseline to know what, and you should be planning for the future. I
Correct.
certainly understand that. That's
And then the 10 employees includes full-time equivalents now. It does not include when we upstaff a little bit with seasonal help, just for clarification.
Okay, thanks. And the other thing I want to ask about is how many meter readers and data entry people do you have now that would be affected by the AMI meters that are going to be going in?
Well, it takes us about 2 to 2.5 days, the entire crew, to read all the meters manually. That's a total of 10 people.
Okay. and
So it
what's-
takes 2.5 days to do that.
Okay.
Now, on the data entry side, Natalie would have to answer
I
that
only have
question.
one billing supervisor.
I'm sorry?
One billing supervisor who enters all the information by herself manually.
Okay. And once the remote monitoring goes in, then those employees that are affected, what happens with them?
They do their other normal duties that we do every day.
To clarify, we don't have staff that are dedicated meter readers, that's all that they do.
Great.
These are linemen and other various positions who read meters for 2 days a month.
Great, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I wanted to ask, what would the timeline then for that, for the purchase of the AMI electric, the new meters? What would be the timeline for that? Do you already have somebody in mind who would be doing the installation and you
Well-
don't have any?
No,
We will
we're
have to
not at
go
that
through the
stage.
bidding and, we will have to go through the purchasing process, issue in the RFP, and go through the bidding process for that.
The similar process that we just did for the water meters, we will have to follow that.
And that's the reason I'm asking, because that's my concern, because it took years for that to happen, and we're still not even at the end of that process. So that's why I'm asking, if we're gonna go and borrow this money, is there a plan, and are we on it to be able to, so that it's not a years-long process, because we're gonna be paying on this, and ultimately it'll fall back down on the residents, and who will be paying for it, and so I'm just asking, are we farther along down the line?
Yes.
Before we start borrowing money? is what
Part
I'm
of the
concerned.
delay, I shouldn't even say delay really, with the water meter project was that we did not have funding. It was something that we knew we wanted to move forward with, but we didn't have funding. As soon as we had the funding, we moved on this. As soon as we have the funding in place, we will be able to work with our electric consultants, develop an RFP, and start down that road.
And
I can't guarantee it won't take more than a year, but it won't, if we receive the funding, it won't take years.
And then the other side of that too is with the water meters, we were up against some external challenges with the supply chain, because you figure
Yes.
it was at a time when, due to the ARPA funds, everybody was shifting that direction, so the supply didn't match the demand, so.
I understand, but I guess going into another whole project, I just wanted to get an idea.
It's-
Yes, all those unforeseen things that happen with that, or I do understand all of that as well.
As far as the installation of the meters themselves, we'll do that in-house. We won't have a contractor doing it, we will do it.
Okay.
It's a little less labor intensive to
Right.
replace electric meters than
It's
water
just a
meters.
question of the equipment, and you
Yeah.
don't anticipate unless there's another
Right,
worldwide catastrophe that.
I mean, as soon as the equipment comes in, the meters, we can start rolling on it now. We have to work with the residents and business owners, because you're talking, to change a meter out takes about 5 minutes. So it'd be about a 5-minute outage. On residential meter, commercial meters are a little longer because some of them are bolted in. So you have to shut down the mains and unbolt the meters, so they take a little longer to do that.
Okay. The other thing about, do you anticipate as a result of the new meters going on, an increase or decrease to residents for the electricity? Do you anticipate, I'm just asking if you anticipate?
Increase in the bill amount?
Yes.
Yes.
Some people will see an increase, some people will see decrease because it will be the accuracy in place. Because right now, the mechanical meter could overread or underread. It's mechanical.
No, normally a mechanical meter underreads because it wears out. There's parts that turn in it, so it reads slower. So digital meters, electronic, give you a true reading of what the resident is actually using.
Right, I understand that. I'm just, what I'm questioning about, if you're going to be, if we're going to be taking the bond now to pay for the equipment, to pay for this upgrade and everything, are we still, is it still going to fall back on residents then to pick up any differences later? Do you anticipate?
As of right now, we are not planning to pass it on at all. It's going to be no cost to the citizens, residents of the town of Berlin till we proceed with the rate study, and the decision will be at the later terms.
Okay.
But additionally, just so that everybody knows, we're not going to remain stagnant on that either. As the electric utility director said, we're going to search using this new data to try and find some cost-saving metrics along the way. So it could possibly end up being a wash.
All right, and then just one last thing, but I guess you are going to be moving forward, but did you think about the possibility, because we've been talking about doing those projects for a while, waiting until next year, because interest rates are at an all-time high right now, waiting until possibility of interest rates being lowered by usually around June or July, and then possibly applying next year? Is this something you can apply every year for?
No, we have certain open windows for the issuance of bond, and the more municipalities, governmental units participate in the pool, the better rates and the better possibilities. So the next opening is April, and then the next one will be unknown. We waited for that opening for a while, which we couldn't be part of it.
The CDA waits until they have a number of municipalities wanting to come into the bond market to move forward.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, those are great questions.
Any other members of the public that would like to address the mayor and council? All right, if not, we'll move on to comments from the council. We'll start with Vice President Barone.
I just have one thing, a great big thank you to town staff and the general public for your prayers and your well wishes during my time of being absent from this body. And I want you to know that returning to this seat this evening, believe it or not, gives me great pleasure to be able to sit here with you all. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you, town staff, to the council, and the general public.
We're glad to have you back.
I'm glad to be there.
All right, Councilmember Nichols, and we're grateful for your service in the interim as well.
Absence
So,
of-
I appreciate you. Mr. Burrell, dude, those are some big shoes to fill. And that on that chair. And that chair. But I will say, thank God that you're back. Not just for those reasons, but your absence was duly noted. And even though you weren't here, you were here. And thanks, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I think we did some good stuff here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in this impromptu gathering. If you don't believe so, folks that are going to read this in the paper and whatnot, I think that you need to grab a hold of where we've been in this town in the last couple of years and the projects that we've been trying to move forward with, and see this as taking the proper steps to make this plan that we have been trying to do in the past more doable in the near future.
Thank you. Councilmember Morris.
I just want to say one thing. Welcome back, VP Dean, and glad you're back. So thanks.
Councilmember Green.
Dean, welcome back. Been great to see you. Just one thing, I've just noticed that what we have been doing, it was Dean's recommendation, I believe, at his last meeting. What we're doing with public comment is something I think we should all be proud of, and thank you for your questions tonight. There's some great questions. And, I think what we're doing now with public comments after, or actually before a decision, has been well received, and at a time when some government bodies are being called to the mat for not providing that venue. I think it's great what we've done, and I think it's something we should all be proud of. And nights like tonight with her questions, she got to get her answers immediately from us, from the staff experts. So I'm proud of what we're doing on that front. And I think it's something that I don't take it for granted, because we've come a long way actually in a year or so. So thank you.
Thank you. I agree. I think that, honestly, I had my doubts about how well it was going to flow, but I think it's worked out really, really well. And I think it proves to show that all of our minds together can come at something pretty well. So thank you for that. The only other comment I have is to the public, and that's when you look at this, whether you're watching live with us or whether you read this in the newspaper, $1 million, $2.8 million, 3.8 total, can seem scary, right? And we don't take that on lightly. Our finance department doesn't take it on lightly. Our town administrator, myself, the council, none of us do that on a whim. We're confident that there's a pathway to be able to pay for these things. We're confident that we can overcome the additional obligations through some cost savings, as well as some partnership on how we spend our overall tax dollars. So we don't take it lightly, and we understand that all of you work very hard for your tax dollars that come in, and we're good stewards of that money as well. So that's the only thing I have to say. The next step is any comments from the press. Charlene? Mary, I feel like I should include you sometimes in the press. Okay.
Mary, don't let them joke you. You know you're the social media press.
It's okay, it's okay. Vice President Burrell, you're up.
Move to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Thank you all.